Hello everyone, I'm here in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 to take a look at a new freeware plane released to FlightSim.to by Del Monte Sim, and this is the DMS Fanracer. So it's a fictional aircraft. It is based on a Macross aircraft in the opening of Super Dimension Fortress Macross, and it is the Fanracer flown by, I believe, the main character. So the iconic look is this white and red look, but it does come with other liveries. So there it is. It's sort of like a reverse GB, where the GB has the big engine right in front. This has a huge engine on the tail, but it's basically an aircraft built around the engine, clearly. And much like the GB, you wonder whether it would actually fly. Of course, the GB did actually fly, so probably this one would as well. I'm not entirely clear what the forward air intake is doing, perhaps adding more bleed air because the fan is blocked so much by the body, or something like that, but presumably not having intake there at all would help, or maybe there's some special jet that adds something to it. But there is this variety of liveries. The total amount of fuel it can carry is about 50 gallons. And my plan is this flight from Michael Army Airfield, Michael Airfield, that is the Dugway Proving Ground, and then over to Wendover. So we're going to be going along the salt flats for this part, and I'm going from the Army Airfield to this metaphor tree of Utah. Hopefully we will see that, and then hang a left. So that is the plan. That's 72 nautical miles, and I'll see how fast I can do it since it is a racer. And of course the Bonneville salt flats are a good place to try and see if something goes fast or not. It says it's going to take about 43 gallons out of our 50, so we'll see how that goes. It probably doesn't have much range then. Alright, here we are, and this is the little guy. I don't know what the little nubs next to the fan are actually supposed to do. It'd be interesting if those deployed as air brakes. We do have additional... it does look like the intake is like sending air through these things into the fan. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's some sort of afterburner injection system. I don't know what's going on with that. But it's mostly a fan there. We do have canard, and the landing gear is sort of blocking the intake anyway. It's an interesting design. Of course, it's nothing to do with the creators of this mod. It's based on the Macross design, and those designs from those anime are always a little bit eccentric, let's face it. Alright, so here we go. I'm taking a look at the time, and in theory we're quite heavy right now. At least on takeoff it doesn't have a handling problem. I mean, it does have a single propeller or fan, so there's probably got to be some torque at some point. We can go up, we just need to go fast. I'm gonna keep it low, not that low. We are at 250 knots there. And 260 is where the yellow zone starts, and then it looks like maybe 310 is our max speed. I don't expect that it's going to be able to do that. I'm flying it as much like a racer as I can. We're at 270. I'll try a little bit of handling. There are actual trees here. Well, it doesn't have any huge torque in one direction or anything. I appear to have mountains in front of me. Or a butte, I don't know. Does this count as a butte? Well, not a great mesh on these. Alright, we have crossed those. So yeah, even at full throttle, you're not going to hit the max speed except in a dive. Just cruising right along. Fairly smooth. Though it probably with its control surfaces will act in an interesting way if you maneuver a lot. The vegetation really can't keep up with me. That's a sim problem. It should be able to. It's trying to pop up. But it looks like about 270 is what you get. A radar altimeter would be nice. Okay, about halfway to the tree. Let's see how the fuel has been doing. Oh, we only consumed like 1 gallon, so whatever its estimate, you know, is saying that we consume 43 gallons. Basically, well, that was wrong. And maybe we'll consume somewhere between 4 and 8 gallons. So it has more range than initially considered. Maybe, I don't know, what does that amount to? Well, we'll be conservative about it and say that that's about a 600 to 700 nautical mile range, at least. So from outside it looks like this, but I'd be very careful flying from outside. Just skimming right along here. So we should be approaching the tree. They had that tree as a point of interest. I sure hope it pops up. It's a building. Is any of this supposed to be... Is that the tree? Okay, apparently this is the tree of Utah here. It's not really a tree. I think it's some sort of monument thing. I think it's artificial. Either that or it's a very special tree. Okay, we get to follow this highway here now. So, looking like that. Certainly a better sense of speed from out here. Not nearly as much fun inside the cockpit. So, using replay mode, you could get some good stuff out of this. We're about 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in now. I'll see at some other time whether I can post a better result with a different plane, piston only though. And I'm counting from wheel start to wheel stop. Ah, to our right is the actual salt flats now, I think. Oh, I think this is the runway. Whoops, I'm coming in from the wrong direction. Okay, slowing down. So I've lost some time here. Landing gear. Does it have flaps? It does have flaps. Ooh, now it's very sluggish on turning. Well, I'm barely not stalling here, so... I wish there were more races, like point-to-point cross-country races in the game. That's really what it's best designed for, probably. Oh, I ended up going faster than I wanted coming in. Oh, that's where the landing gear is. Pretty easy ground handling. Okay. It's not very wiggly or anything. Needs a lot of throttle in order to get it moving. Ooh, and then it has trouble slowing down. Like... Well, I didn't quite get the time. I was too occupied, but it was about 15 minutes. I was trying to get off the runway properly. Anyway, there you have it. The DMS Fanracer. A unique little aircraft. It feels okay. Doesn't feel too fictional, if you will. I don't, again, know exactly what all the little bits are for. Some of those aren't the most aerodynamically sensible things to ever take place on the plane, but it has its own style. So that's good. So, with that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do press like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time.